So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And today we actually have a really interesting video for you all. Now this one is actually talking about if Fredbear was in Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yes, now if you remember in a previous video, if you've been subscribed for that long, we suggested that Springtrap might actually be in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, not in animatronic form, but in paper plate form in Party Room 4.
Yes.
So what we're suggesting this video is the one next to him is actually Fredbear.
Yes, and we actually have a lot of ideas for this as to why this might make sense, and hopefully as the video progresses we'll be able to convince you guys and hopefully enlighten you to some pretty startling evidence. In the description below you'll find this previous video talking about Springtrap in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, so be sure to give it a watch if you have not seen it yet.
Yes, now on with this video.
So as most of you guys are aware of, in Party Room 4 there was actually 3 animatronics that seem to sit on the wall in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Now these 3 paper plate dolls could actually be in chronological order as to when we were introduced to each of these characters. Now what we're actually proposing to you guys is that on the far left this could most certainly be the puppet. In the center, this could be Spring Bonnie, and on the far right, this could actually be Spring Freddy, aka Fredbear.
Yes, and this would make a lot of sense. I mean, if this is to hold any truth, then that means that Scott has been planning this all along. And
exactly.
He's known how the story will go all this time, which is a bit crazy, really, if he's planned that far ahead.
There has been a lot of planning into all of these games, and I mean, it seems like a quite direct hint, really, doesn't it? That this guy is definitely, well, he could even be within the establishment. I mean, we had a lot of speculative talk in the other video about Springtrap being in the establishment, and you know, a lot of things seem to unearth themselves, and now if this character is definitely Fredbear, then wow, where could he be in this establishment?
Well, I mean, as we've seen on the website with the final chapter teaser image, we can see 87 scattered all over the website, and I mean, if, like, Fredbear is the culprit of the bite of 87, then he must be in this establishment, definitely.
Exactly, yeah, because this game seems to take place in 1987.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah, so all signs seem to be pointing to it, and in the parts and services room, there's actually a very large wall which seems to separate one side from the other, isn't there?
Yes.
So what is behind this other side of the wall?
Yeah, this could be the secret room that's covered up that the phone guy talks about on Five Nights at Freddy's 3. They say that. I think it's not digitally on the map, they say, but it is there, obviously, so the animatronics can't get in there.
Yeah, it could well and truly be, yeah, because the animatronics don't have it in their database system, like they can't go in this room. It seems to it's non-existent pretty much to those.
Yeah, pretty much.
So all the signs seem to be pointing. Now we're actually going to be talking about a couple of things that this image represents to us, or should I say presents, that this is actually Fredbear.
So the first one being, if we look on the right at Fredbear, what we're supposedly suggesting is Fredbear, it has a bow tie and 2 buttons. Now if we look back at the teaser image that Scott has recently put on his website, we can see that Fredbear, or Freddy as we know him, has a bow tie on.
Absolutely, yeah. So this seems to, well, it could quite possibly be a direct hint that these guys are connected, and also he has 2 buttons. Now, the thing about this portion is that there is smaller Toy Freddys, well, not Toy Freddy, well, they could be Toy Freddys actually, couldn't they? Thinking about it. The smaller Freddy seem to be covering most of his kind of central torso, so we can't actually see a whole lot of detail as to where these guys were, but there seems to be holes in him from these guys as well, so they could have eaten their way through him, and I don't know, maybe the buttons have become non-existent. A lot like Springtrap, didn't he? He lost his bow tie, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a hole where the neck actually is, and you can see like the flesh beneath the suit. Yeah, so that must have been ripped off when the suit was tampered with or aged, possibly.
Yeah, I think I agree on that one, yeah. So, something that a lot of people seem to point out in our Springtrap in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 video in regards to this paper plate is that Springtrap is definitely yellow, and the central paper plate seems to have purple things originating from it. He's got purple arms and purple legs. Now, this could actually be a metaphor for the purple guy being inside of him for all we know. Scott could have delivered this message to us in a more, should I say, a less obvious way.
Yeah, I mean, we know Scott, he probably writ the Da Vinci Code at this rate, but he knows exactly what he's doing, and
absolutely,
yeah, this could be a direct hint to the purple guy being inside Springtrap.
So not only revealing that the Springtrap is in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but also what's going to be controlling the Springtrap in a later edition of the franchise.
Yes.
So in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, it's very obvious that the paper plate dolls can move around, and it's mostly the puppet that seems to move around. Now, what I find incredibly interesting is that the puppet is a very obvious character in this game. He's very important. If you forget to wind that music box, you will know very soon, yeah. And he seems to be able to appear in your office. That is the paper plate doll, and he gets pinned on your wall.
So yeah, in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, like Ryan said, you know, it's the paper plate doll of what's meant to be the puppet in your office, and like I said, in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it's actually Springtrap, what we're speculating to be Springtrap. So could this new game, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, have this new puppet, well, paper plate doll that we're seeing pinned to your office, possibly?
Yeah, kind of moving around the establishment. It seems to be making sense, doesn't it? In Five Nights at Freddy's 3, as you say. This is image 64 in the texture files if you guys are aware of this one. The Springtrap is definitely there, or at least what we're speculating to be. Remember, guys, it's all speculative, but we definitely speculate this one to be Springtrap. And ironically, he can appear in your office in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and the Springtrap is the main protagonist. So, all signs seem to be pointing towards this linking almost, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
It seems to be making sense. And for those of you who aren't 100% convinced that the guy on the far left is the puppet, we actually have another video talking about this exact image coming real soon, and you guys will love this one.
Yes, definitely.
So guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. Of course, be sure to like the video to let us know. And hey, if you're new around here, why not subscribe for daily theories and also gaming videos? So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video, and we'll of course see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?